Hey guys, welcome to part 2. This is code way too easy. As you will remember from our previous video yesterday, we ran into a little bottleneck, a little hurdle. So shortly after I ended that video, I spent a couple more minutes and I figured out what we were doing wrong. And that's the beauty of coding. Sometimes, you just struggle with it and then you take a little break and then you realize what you were doing. So anyway, we're going to take a look at that today. You should be seeing my screen already. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I'm not sharing my screen. Let me go ahead and share it with you. All right. All right. Again, this is code way too easy. Please consider subscribing. I got a premium paid offering and a free version. The paid one is going to help you with landing a tech job that pays a nice salary, and I'm going to prepare you for that. But if you just want to learn about coding, learn it on your own, and have some support from me as well, then the free version. I'll provide links to those courses. It's a Google Classroom course, and you may be familiar with Google Classroom, but I'll provide some material on there and assignments and tests and mini coding assignments. You can get really good with coding. So anyway, and to be a problem solver, think outside the box. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So I'm going to bring you up to our YouTube page and show you the video. I'm going to show you the video from yesterday, not that, right? But I am going to show you. Let's see, code way too easy. Let's go ahead and search for ourselves. And if we go into our course, this is from yesterday, 22 hours ago. I'm going to pause it here. I just want to show you the code that we were actually using yesterday. All right. So if you look at the video description here, I provided some links from the different stuff that we were doing to get us up to par with that coding assignment. And here's the actual code from yesterday's lecture. All right. So let's go ahead and copy this code. And I'm going to show you a very cool tool. I'm going to copy this. And if you go to Google and you go to file def, DIFF, file difference in our words, file difference. There's a nice website that lets you do a comparison between a file and another file. So let's go ahead and look at what we were doing wrong. And I'm going to walk you through this code. So the original code is right here. I'm going to paste what we did yesterday. And then I'm going to show you the code that I had shortly after finished up, and that's actually working. And actually, it was actually already working, and I'll explain that in a minute. It was just the site that we were using that was giving us a little trouble. So let's go ahead and so we're going to compare this on the left with this on the right. File differences. This does a nice job. So you can see we made use of. So here we forgot to include the time import package of the Golang programming language. We need to make use of time, and that's for one of the items here. But if we look a little bit further, let's see if we can go a little further here. So, so there's a difference here. This is all the same except for line 15, which compares to line 16 here. Let's see what's the difference here. Actually, it seems like it's the same, except that things are shifted. Things got shifted. Where's the main difference here? Okay, so this one, rand.Seed. So in Golang, if you're going to make use of the random number generator, you need to create a random seed at the time that you decide to run the code, because that seed it's just another way of saying it's like it's something that to ensure as close as random as possible. So I made use of that here on the right, which we didn't do initially, and then here we also I decided, you know what, we're making a dice game, so we need to pick the values from essentially 0 to 6, even though a side only has 6 sides. Anyway, we can modify this code and test it and make sure it's working fine. But you can see here the rest of this if statement here is almost the same, except I changed some of the name of the variables. But essentially, it's almost the same code. The only difference is I included a random seed. Everything else is almost the same. there's some shifting of what we did here. I'm not sure what happened here. I guess I left a lot of space here, but this is the items that got added. So here we're printing out the winning number. But anyway, let me show you why it wasn't working. And even though I know this code on the right here does work, I'm going to show you. So this the official Golang website. It's a great website, the Go programming language website. That's what we were using yesterday. Now, what I notice is, like, if you're going to try some simple code here, it works. But when you use the code that we were generating yesterday, where we had complexity in the sense that we have to pause the program and wait for the user to give us some input, this website or this page doesn't handle that very well. And let me go ahead and copy the code that is working that I got finished with yesterday, and we're going to walk through it still so you can understand. But when I put this here in this into this try Go area to go ahead and test our Golang, that's a very nice character there. I like that guy. We have to find out more about him. But anyway, when you run this, you get these errors, which you will not get these errors if you use a different website. I'm going to provide that link that allows for the program to actually stop and wait for your input that you can put on the keyboard, respond to the question, and then it proceeds. So this is good for doing simple stuff, and this is the go-to place if you want to learn more about the Go language. You can check out here documents, but let me show you a different website that I ended up using the same code we just ran here, and you saw over here on the official Golang, it gave us some issues. Like, this is invalid text, a program exited, so it didn't do anything. But if you go to this website, Golang, and again, I'll provide this in the video description. If you go to this website here, which you probably will find it very similar, because we also practice JavaScript, Java, and Python on this website as well. Now they also have a Golang compiler interpreter. So I'm going to take that same code that we had, I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to run it. And you see here, it's not going to have any issues, because this website actually handles for waiting for the input from the user. So guess a number between 1 and 6. I'm going to go with number 3. I'm going to hit enter. The winning number is 6. Sorry, you lost. Okay, we lost. The program comes to an end. Let's run it again one more time. I'm going to guess again, number 3. This time the winning number was 2. So sorry, you lost. Let's run that again. Hopefully we're going to win this time. 3. Nope, we were very close. The winning number was 4. I'm going to go with 3 again. We lost again. Let's go ahead and run it again. I really want the number 3 to win, and we're still losing. So you can see it's random. The winning number generated is random each time. The last time, this last time was 2. This time was 3. Yes, we actually won, guys. So so there you go. So that's why we were having so much struggle yesterday. Again, these videos should be concise for the most part. And we ran into a little hurdle yesterday, but that's the reason. This Golang doesn't allow you to input. And even if you, I think, open it in the playground, in their playground environment, it still doesn't. So let me go ahead and paste the code and let me run it here. And you see, it's giving us this error, which is kind of not right. Again, I'm not sure. This is the official Golang, and nonetheless, when you practice your code, you're not even allowed to insert input. I don't know if it's just a difference of Golang. Maybe this version of Golang here is different from this one here, running on this Replit Golang website. But anyway, that's why we were struggling so much. So let's go ahead and step through this program so we can understand exactly what's going on here. So let's go ahead and take a look at our code. So again, this is a comment just to let us know what the next lines of code are all about. So you can edit this code. Yeah, well, the code that we can edit is all this right here that has all these different color text. Click here and start typing. Okay, so anyway, this is just a comment. Here we're making use of the main package called main. We're importing some important libraries that we're going to be using, like formatting, the math and random library, string conversion, OS or operating system, and time. Then we go straight into our main method. And in Golang, like in Java, in most of the other languages, the main method or the main function, this is the first pieces of code to get run. So we declared a function called main. which is expected. And then inside these curly brackets, this curly bracket matches up with this curly bracket over here at the end. The first thing we are telling the computer, remember, coding is nothing more than telling the computer step-by-step instructions, do this, do this, do this. So the first thing we're doing is printing some information to the screen. Please guess a number between 1 and 6. And effectively, that's the first thing we see here that gets run. Here, the program pauses. A variable called theGuess. Again, a variable is a container with a name that you can store a value inside it. The variable, the guess, we're going to call it a string. And then we make use of another function called scanLn. So it's going to scan for whatever the user inputs into the terminal window here. And we're going to assign that value to the guess variable. And we need to do that using this ampersand sign. So then we obtain that information from the user on the keyboard. This is just a comment. This is some code that wasn't working before for us yesterday. So we just commented out that line gets ignored, and then we create two variables here because this this call to the string conversion using this function ATIO, we take as input the guess, so the value that was given to us, because over here we declared it as a string, and when you use this function here, even though you insert a number, the computer is going to treat it like a piece of text. So we're doing a conversion of that, and we're assigning that to the value I. And in the case that there's an error, then the error is going to get the variable error is going to tell us what error we got. So as soon as we do that, we're going to immediately check, did we get an error? And if we got an error, let's go ahead and print out that information and go ahead and exit the program gracefully. So that's all that block of if code, if statement does here. We're just confirming that the conversion that we did from the text number that they gave us, converted into an actual number, actually worked. And if it did, we proceed. And then the next thing we do is we create a random seed to help us with generating a random seed. Each time we run this code, we're going to get a random seed that's going to help us create a random number. And then we go ahead and put a print statement here. They're saying, okay, the winning number is, and then this line of code, this pieces of code here helps us select whether we want this program to pick the numbers between 0 and 6 or 1 through 6. So we have to modify this. We'll do some more testing to see exactly how this works. But I think lower bound is included and upper bound is included. So these numbers are included. So really, we're actually talking about 7 sides, not a 6-sided. So let's see if we're going to leave it like this, and we'll test it in a minute. So here we make use of the random library of function, and we're creating an integer number based on this range from 0 to 6 plus 1. And also, this would work. I think it's going to work because if this comes out to be 0 here, then it's going to add 1, so we're always going to get 1. Anyway, we'll test it just to make sure. Here, we're going to go ahead and print out the random winning number that was generated. And so, yep, you see that right here with this. And then we're going to check immediately if the random number that was generated is equal to the variable I. Remember, we updated the variable I to refer to the conversion that the user inserted. So we convert that number text into an actual number. We're making that conversion. Are they equal to each other? Great. If they are, then let's go ahead and print out the winning message. Otherwise, if that's not the case, if it's not a match, we're going to say, hey, sorry, you lost. So let's go ahead and run this one more time. Let's run this several times. I just want to make sure that it's working. And I will provide the code to this if you want to play with it on your own. So let's go with 3. So the winning number was 5. 3 again. 2. 0. You see? So a dice does not have a side 0. It has sides 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's modify this code. And this is an example of how you fix a bug. So we have a bug in our code. Let's change this to 1 because it should be including 1 all the way up to 6. Let's go ahead and run this again. And we should never get, so here we got 6. Great. That's the upper limit possible. Here we got a 2. Here we got a 2 again. Again, it's all random. We got a 2 again, 2 in a row, 3 times. Wow. 4 this time. 5. All right. I'm going to try to see if we can get all the numbers. really confirm that it's random. 5 again. 4. So we got 2, 4, 5, and 6. Let's see if we can get 3 and 2 and 1 at some point. So we got 2 again. We got 2 again. We got 1. All right. So we've noticed that this program can produce all the numbers 1 through 6. At this point, we've gotten 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. We're still waiting to get 3. Maybe we get lucky this time. And actually, we got 3. So the program works as expected. It's a 6-sided dice. So here we corrected that bug here. And now we know that our program pretty works essentially. Now the next step, maybe for a next video, is you see each time I run this program, I have to run it. It stops here. And then if I want to run it again, I need to hit the play button. So I'm going to show you something in coding called a loop. A loop is like a loop is something like the name implies is a loop. It repeats over and over again. So we're going to we're going to add onto this program an ability for it to continue to ask you the same question over and over again until you say something other. For example, no, I don't want to play anymore. Then you can stop the program and exit the program the way it should. But right now, it's kind of annoying having to hit the play button again and again if I want to roll the dice over and over again. So I would like for us to implement a feature of having us to be able to roll the dice as much as we want until we say no anymore. Okay, so that'll be a video for tomorrow. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and bring this one to a close. I'll provide you all the details. Remember to check out our Google Classroom, the free class version, if you're really interested. And the premium version to try to start landing a tech job. And I'll also provide that details as well. Again, this is code way too easy. Thank you for your attention, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye, and God bless.